Ancient Egyptians believed in a diverse pantheon of gods and goddesses, around 8,700 divine beings in total. Some of these deities were well known, others remained obscure. Each deity had its own personality and traits, wore specific forms of dress and presided over their own domain. Each deity enjoyed a unique area of expertise but frequently became associated with several areas of human activity. Today in this video, you are going to find out the most powerful gods in the Egyptian mythology. Amun. As Zeus was to the Greeks, the Egyptian god Amun-Ra or Amun was considered the king of the gods and goddesses. Originally known as the Hidden One and correlated with creativity, the king of gods named Amun looked after the city of Thebes around 21st century BC. He became Amun-Ra. After being amalgamated with the sun god Ra, he was thought to be the father of the pharaohs, and his female counterpart, Amunit, was called the female Hidden One. Amun was different from all other deities because his absence from the image and being invisible is only contacted spiritually, making his worship close to being monotheistic worship, so he became the only god and all other deities a picture of him and a reflection of him, and among the most famous titles of Amun-Ra was the title Protector of the Path. Isis. Isis, she is the goddess of motherhood and magic, the sister of the god Osiris and his faithful lover, who has become an example of love and loyalty. Isis is always represented in the image of a woman holding the throne on her head and in her hand the key to life. She was called the Cosmic Mother, and the mother of all creatures. The flooding of the Nile River was often linked to the tears shed by Isis for her murdered brother and husband, Osiris, and along with fellow goddesses Hathor and Mut, she remains one of the most celebrated female deities of Egyptian mythology. Seth. Seth was the god of chaos, violence, deserts, and storms. In the Osiris myth, he is the murderer of Osiris. In certain versions of the tale, he fools Osiris into lying down in a coffin, which he subsequently seals shut. Egyptologists have a problem with Seth's look. He is frequently portrayed as an animal or as a person with an animal's head. However, they are stumped as to what animal he is meant to be. His nose is generally lengthy, and his ears are squared at the points. He has a slender dog-like body and a straight tail with a tuft at the end of his completely animal form. Ra. He was the ancient Egyptian sun god. The sun had a special place among the ancient Egyptians. They considered it the source of life. So they took it as a god and called it Ra, and he was the god of the sun and the creator of the universe, one of the most famous deities in the ancient Egyptian religion. Every dawn and sunset was seen as a new beginning. He was shown as a falcon-headed god who had a close relationship with Horus, earning him the title of Horus of the horizon. Osiris. Osiris, one of Egypt's most important deities, was god of the underworld. He also symbolized death, resurrection, and the cycle of Nile floods that Egypt relied on for agricultural fertility. According to the myth, Osiris was a king of Egypt who was murdered and dismembered by his brother Seth. Despite being killed by his brother, Osiris was resurrected by Isis's power and could have a child. Horus, the son of Osiris and Isis, avenged his father's death and ascended to become Egypt's next pharaoh. In contrast, Osiris became the god of the underworld and aided the pharaohs and people in their afterlives. He is shown as a mummified king, with just the green skin of his hands and face showing through the wrappings. Horus. Horus was a sky deity connected with battle and hunting and was shown as a falcon or a man with a falcon's head. He was the son of Osiris, who was born by Isis, greatest god in the temple of Anat. Horus was called as the protector of his father for his revenge on his uncle Seth, and after Horus's victory in his famous battle with his uncle he became a god of life and a symbol of justice, used by all the kings who ruled Egypt with hope and greed in achieving justice as Horus has done, and Horus has been given many titles, such as Horus the Wise, the Savior, and the One in the Highest. Thoth. Thoth, the god of writing and wisdom, could be depicted in the form of a baboon or a sacred ibis or as a man with the head of an ibis. He was believed to have invented language and the hieroglyphic script and to serve as a scribe and advisor for the gods. As the god of wisdom, Thoth was said to possess knowledge of magic and secrets unavailable to the other gods. In underworld scenes showing the judgment undergone by the deceased after their deaths, Thoth is depicted as weighing the hearts of the deceased and reporting the verdict to Osiris, the god of the dead. Anubis. Before Osiris took over, Anubis patrolled the underworld. Anubis was a psychopomp, or deity who assists in the afterlife, and was the offspring of Ra and Nephthys. He was known for mummifying the dead and guiding their souls towards the afterlife. His skin was black, symbolizing the dark Nile deposits which made the land so fertile. With the head of a jackal and the body of a man, Anubis also stood for renaissance and the staining of dead bodies after the embalming process.